like different cameras set up. So I'm just trying to get this in order so I don't have to um, constantly, just having to do the hustle of download this one to put there, to put here. It just becomes much after a while. So don't mind me. Okay. So, as I said, welcome. You are welcome here. When you come here, if you are new, we usually talk about positive subjects and we do a lot of, develop development for the mind and for who you are. Welcome, my love. Welcome back. So let me see if she got it. Let me just forward it to a couple of folks. Okay, perfect. Let me just send it to this group and that group and this one. I can't even recall. Well, hopefully everybody eventually gets to come back around. But in this life right now, a lot of things are going on, and they are very depressing. Very hurtful, and sometimes people don't know how to respond to them, just because it's something different. Maybe you've never been through such a time as this where you have to constantly be on the defensive for yourself, or thank you, love. Thank you. Having to be there for yourself, having to almost like becoming a new or different person just because the time kind of requires this. It's like what you're seeing is not what you're used to. Therefore, things just keep on changing right in front of your bare eyes, and you have to abide, you have to make it work. Okay. So I came from the other life. I jumped in so quickly. I didn't even get to touch up because it's already so late. It's almost 2 o'clock. So I'm kind of behind my schedule as well. So we'll try to not so much run through it, but we'll get it done as soon as we can. All right. So welcome everyone. And thank you for following through. So as I said, in case if you're coming in now, don't mind me if you see one moment I look here, one other moment I look there. I keep moving around. It's because I have different cameras set up. I'm on different platforms. So that kind of saved me some time having to jump from one place to another and just keep jumping around. So that kind of like saved me a little bit of time. Um, that's why I set it up that way. So don't mind me. All right. So again, welcome. And the presentation for today is going to be about returning your divine essence. I sort of talk on that subject in different ways before, and every time you just get something different, you just get something new. Um, because it's like a book or like a movie. No matter how many times you watch it, every time you're like, oh, that was in there. I didn't see this before. Oh, this was in there. I didn't see this before. So don't mind when we revisit a subject. It's because there's still so much more that we need to learn about it. And maybe we move so quickly before we missed it out. So don't mind. Okay. And all right, so we'll get straight to the point. Oh, I sent it to my love. I guess he didn't get it. Let me see again. All right, I resent it, hopefully. So, all right. And as I said, I'm trying to like get on and get out because we invested a lot of time on the other live doing this, different subjects. So let's just, hit this one and let's see how that goes. And this is very interesting because a lot of times We take the things that we know, the things that we're comfortable in, we take them for granted. So that's why I think this is very important to give it some time, to really invest a little bit of time to understand. Hey, hey, how are you? Welcome, welcome. To understand it, because we do take our talents, we do take our natural gifts for granted. So that's why this presentation is so important. So welcome again. Okay, thank you so much for tapping the screen, thank you for sharing, and thank you for being here. So let's get into it. um Let me see, just give me 1 second. Okay, I just want to make sure they get me on the other one. I didn't want to play music because I'm on different platforms. If I play the music, I don't want it to be blocked. So okay. All right, that's better. That's better. All right. So, all right. So, the presentation, as I told you, is about returning to your divine essence, embracing your true talents. And in case if you're just coming in, I'm in different computers, different. I'm on the tablet, on the phone, on the computer, on. So don't mind me. Who is this? I can't even see. I don't know who's trying to come up. I can't really see. It's not telling me who it is. If y'all come, if someone desires to come up, just put the message so I know, because I don't know why I'm not able to see who's coming up. And usually when I do live, I usually just do my presentation, and once the presentation is over, sometimes, depending on the time, if it's the type of subject that we can discuss, we talk about it a little bit. If not, then we just move on. But usually when I do live, I don't really have people up unless it's a time for, unless I'm being guided to do so. So don't mind me. And if you do want to come up, there's something that you needed to share, just put it in the message, and hopefully my eyes will catch it. But for some reason I'm not able to see who's coming up. So in case if it is someone I know or don't know. All right. So welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. All right. As usual, it's a pleasure. So as I said, the presentation is returning to your divine essence. Hopefully I can get into the subject, no more disturbances. Okay. So embrace your true talents. Okay. And we're gonna be about this hopefully about an hour. So it's almost 2 o'clock. So by 3 o'clock we'll be done, if not even before it. Okay. So as I say, welcome, beautiful souls. I'm talking to different cameras, remember, don't mind me. Okay, today we we are diving into a message that is essential for your alignment, your purpose, and your divine success. The importance of focusing on what you already have within you. Because a lot of times we focus on so many things, we don't realize that you actually have stuff inside of you as well. So you need to pay attention to that. Okay. So we live in a world where many people are trying to be someone they are not. They are chasing after skills, roles and dreams that do not even belong to them. Okay. And they do all that while ignoring their divine talents and gifts that they came into this world with. You're trying to be a writer. In the meantime, everybody can tell you you're a singer. So why don't you just focus on what you are and expand on it and become even better at it? So what happens when you do that? Then you're going to end up with frustration, blockages, constant failure, exhaustion. You're always going to be frustrated in such a way, like you're thinking someone is doing something to you. Why is this always happening to me? Why is this happening like that? Oh my God, I can't believe this. In the meantime, all you got to do is follow through with what's already within you. So all the frustration, all the blockages, everything you touch, instead of turning into gold, turn into ashes. The constant failure every time you do something. Anybody else could come up with something that doesn't even seem like a big deal. It works. You come up with something that can even help them help their health, help their livelihood, and nobody pays you no mind. In the meantime, other people come, they bring jewelry. Oh, sold. And then you come and you're like, listen, let me bring you this honey. It's good, it's from this place, and it can help you if you have asthma, if you have this, you can take this. And then nobody pays you no mind. In the meantime, everybody needs it. That's because you're not really in your own essence. You're not really doing what you were meant to do, what you're supposed to do. You're forcing yourself to do something. Have you ever known somebody, you shared an idea with them, and they don't even understand what you say to them? And the minute they heard what you said, they've already run with your idea and they start doing it. And you're like, wait, but this is the idea I shared with you. That's what I wanted to do. And then you'll have this person, they may have success for a day, for a little bit, but by the time a couple of years come, they quit because you know what? That was not your calling. Okay? So many of you have wondered, why is nothing working for me? But have you ever stopped to ask, am I even on my right path? So sometimes you become frustrated, complaining about how everything is not working for you. But have you ever taken the time to ask yourself, well, am I even on the right path? Am I even doing what I'm supposed to do? Am I even addressing what I need to do? Am I even doing my divine gifts, my divine talent? You never ask yourself that. So sometimes failure is not a punishment, it's divine redirection. It's pulling you and putting you on the path that you were supposed to be. Okay? So the universe is pushing you back to your true source, your essence, your divine design, whatever it is that you were supposed to do. So then life, universe, nature is like, you know what? You waste too much time doing this. You need to be on this path. And they take you and they put you on that path. And when you don't understand, when you don't know who you are, what do? You fight back and you don't do it. You move on to something else, something that has nothing to do with you. And once you get there, what happens? You right back to frustration. You right back to headache, to fighting, to doing all these things that are not working. While all you had to do is really just focus on what that path they put you on, and then boom, you start seeing success. Okay? So today we're going to break free from the habit of denying who you are. It's time to embrace what is already inside of you so that your path can finally open. So a lot of times you're thinking that you need someone else to tell you what it is that you need to do. You think you need someone to guide you to, yes, you might need some guidance, but they're not going to do what it is that you need to do. You still have to make an effort. You still have to do something. It's not all about them. It's not all about them doing what you're supposed to be doing. So take time to get to know your gifts, understand the path that you were meant to take. And that's why sometimes the frustration, the level of frustration when it comes to that can be very elevated because you think because your friend is doing this, you're supposed to do that too. You think because your friend is doing that, your sibling is doing this, your cousin is doing that, you think you're supposed to do it too. No, it wasn't meant for you. It wasn't meant for you to do. It was meant for your friend to do. It was meant for your cousin to do, your sister to do, your other siblings to do. It was not meant for you. That was not part of your path. And that's why sometimes when people are fighting people for the paths that they take, the things that they do. And I said, no, you can't do that. because maybe that's the person's path. That's where they're supposed to be. That's what they're supposed to be doing. So you cannot judge them in their own path. Maybe that's what will work for them in this lifetime. Maybe the past lifetime, that's what they needed. They needed to be Buddhist. But this lifetime, they need to be a spiritualist. They need to be in voodoo practices. They need to be in whatever. But whatever the path you were trying to get them on, that's not their path. So allow people to be themselves. Allow people to do the things that they mean to do, that they need to do, that was called for them to do, because it's not part of their path. And thank you so much, guys, for keeping on tapping and sharing. Thank you, Nancy. Hey, Bastet, you here? Opulence. Thank you, everyone, because this thing is a little tiny to see. So thank you for doing that. Okay, secondly, now we have divine, let's define divine gifts and talents. And as I said, if in case you're all just coming in, I have different cameras everywhere. So when you see my eyes go in different places, because I have different social medias open, so don't mind me, okay? Sometimes I do have one system where I can put everything in one place, but today I didn't really get to do that because obviously, like I told you, I just invested a little too much time elsewhere. So now it's catching up to me, okay? So your divine talent now is something that naturally flows through you, okay? It is the thing that when you do it, you feel so connected to something greater than yourself. It's the energy, the skill, or even the wisdom that came with you into this world. Because when you came into this world, you didn't just come empty. Yes, Nancy, you didn't come empty. You came with your own package already. You have your baggage, but you also have your package. You came with things that already came with you into this world. Because, unless you're a brand new soul, which I doubt, hopefully not, because you would have a lot to catch up on. Okay? So when you came with your own stuff. You didn't come empty-handed. And that's why sometimes, it's very hurtful when people are telling you, well, I don't have any talent. I don't have any gift. I don't know what to do. No, you came with your stuff. You just refuse to identify it. You refuse to agree that, you know what? Yeah, that's part of me. Yes, that's what I do. You refuse to identify it and agree with it. But you already have your stuff. You already have all your stuff within you. You already have all your stuff walking with you. You know what? There's someone that did ask me about this and I totally forgot to send it to them. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you went on and you didn't send it to me. Okay. So sometimes that's just the way it goes. Okay. So a divine gift is not something that you force. It's not something that you're like, oh, this gotta work. Hey, beautiful, how are you? How are you, Aida? Welcome, beautiful soul. So your divine gift is not that thing that you're gonna force yourself like, oh my gosh, I have to write this book again. Oh my gosh, oh my God, I have to create this thing again. Oh my God, I'm too, no. Your divine gift, you will be in the middle of the night. It will be 3:00 in the morning. And I'm going to be like, what are you doing? What you up to? I want to work on this project. Or if you're a dancer, right, Bastet? I'll be like, Bastet, come out. Let's see this thing. Let's do this choreography. You won't even remember you were sleeping. Right, Nancy? If I'm like, there's some stuff we need to, there's some spiritual stuff that need investigation. You're just going to be like, let's go do it. You're not even going to remember like it's 3:00 in the morning and you need to be up at 5:00 to start getting for work. You're not going to remember that because you know what? You're just focusing on, this is something I like to do. This is my divine. This you just like, I don't care. Let's do it. But when it's not yours, any little thing you do, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're annoyed, you don't want to be there. It doesn't come with you. It doesn't work naturally with you. It's a fight. It's a constant fight. Exactly, Nancy. It comes naturally. Hey, Abu, welcome, welcome. You know? So every time that you are doing what you do, just focus on your divine gift, your divine talent. I'm great, thank you. And you, welcome. Welcome everyone who's just coming in. Okay? So it exists within you, even if you ignore it. It is natural. It is just your natural way of impacting the world. So a lot of times you start doing things and you're like, oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. That's why sometimes you start doing this and you stop. You start doing that and you stop. You ever know some people that have like 50 projects they never finish? They always doing a project every week. They're always doing something. They're always planning something, but nothing ever gets done. Why? Because it's not your calling. You grappling onto, you heard Nancy's about to do this. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, me too. I wanted to do that. You heard Bastet is about to open a studio. Oh, yeah, me too. I wanted to do that. You heard that Dr. Love is about to like bring out some poetry book. Oh, I always wanted to do that. You heard that self-care is about to like put a workshop together. Oh, I always wanted to do it. Every time you hear somebody is doing something, that's what you wanted to do. But how about what did you really want to do in real life? Yes, that's so beautiful, Nancy. She says, for you guys, that her gift, she says, I'll read to you specifically. My gift took me to become a doula for birth and death. Okay? Birth and death. So imagine to enter this world, you need to be birth. To exit this world, you need death. Although some of us, yeah, that's another story for another day. You already understand. Okay, we're not gonna get into that because I'm not gonna stay here for 10 hours. Although for some of us it's a little bit of a different story, but that's another subject for another day. Okay? So remember, exactly, exactly. You just don't waste your energy anymore because you're on your path. When you're on your path, when you're using your divine calling, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, you answered the call. You're doing your talent that you were meant to do. You're not gonna waste that time. The minute that someone start playing with you, like, okay, I see where this is going, and you just move on. And that's why sometimes people will have all kind of names and titles and ideas about you because there's just certain things you just don't sit for it. You just don't invest your entire time in just sitting there and hoping that someone will come for you and rescue you. And no, you're into your work. And that's why it's important. I always tell my client when we're working on relationship stuff on women's, it's important for you to be in your own work, because when you're in your work, when that person comes, they find you in your work. But when you're not doing your work and this person comes, it's like, okay, yeah, yeah, you know and then before you know it, it's over, because you know what, they didn't find you in your work. So when you're in your work and this person comes and they find you in your work, when things are not working out, it doesn't take you so long to realize that, you know what, I don't like the way this is going. I don't like where this is going. You pay attention really, really quickly. The minute someone is not on their path, is not doing what they're supposed to do, you caught on easily. You caught on effortlessly. And guess what? On top of it, you don't even have to fight them. You don't even have to be like, who do you think you are? What are you doing? And da da da. You don't even have to go through all that. The minute that you realize that, you know what, this is not my path, this is not how I work, this is not the way it goes for me, you just disappear. You just do what you got to do. You just go back into your work. You just go back into your studio. You go back into your dance. You go back into your writing. And all that stuff that's supposed to bother you, that's supposed to cry, you don't even have time for that. Exactly, man. Things just become clear to you. Exactly. You are in constant clarity because you're walking your path. Okay? So if you're fighting with something, know that perhaps it's not for you. And sometimes you may have to learn certain things too. You may have to learn the proper way of things. Because, for example, you might have a talent where you know how to sew, but you waste a lot of the fabric because you don't really know how to sew. You can sew, you can make this, through your own technique. But in real life, there's a different technique you can learn to actually save your fabric where you don't have to just put so much money into what you're doing. And at the end, it's like, yeah, you can sew it, you can make it, but you do lose a lot of fabric because the way that you make it, you don't have the skills that it requires to get it done. But you have the talent. You don't have the skills, but you have the talent. It's like someone who's in the kitchen. You know how to cook. You can make this. You can make that. You can build this. You can build. But at the end, if they ask you to do a class, you can't do it because you don't have the skills. You have the talent, but you don't have the skills. And that's what happens to a lot of people. They are born with their own skills. They're born with all that stuff within them, but all right, it's back. No, it's paused. Okay, we're back. So, it's like it comes to you natural. You can do this, you can do that, but at the time, you have to learn to expand yourself. Oh, hey, beautiful. How are you, Rose? Welcome, my love. Okay, so you have to learn to develop yourself to the point where whatever it is that you're doing, you learn to manage it better. You might be a person who does great patties. You might do good great empanadas. You might do great plantains. You might do great rice. But what happens is you need to learn the business side of it. You might have to go to a business school just for a semester, just for a year, so you know how to handle your restaurant. When people come, you don't sell them something for $10 that you were supposed to charge them $50. That's why you have sometimes artists, they can be good at what they do, but don't put them in business. They'll give everybody their paintings. They'll give everybody their books. They'll give everybody, you know, everything else because they don't understand the art of business. They know the art of getting it done, making a painting, making a piece of art, making that book, making that food, making this, making that, but they don't have the art of business. So that's why usually you have a manager, someone to look out for you, someone to handle your business, someone to do the things that you need to do. Okay, I'm checking them soon. I'm sorry, my love. You probably sent me a message 1 or 2 days ago because for the past 2 or 3 days I haven't really been too much on the inbox because I had to respond to certain things and some of the projects that I shared with you guys, I was still on it, but I apologize. But I got you. I got you. Okay, I'll send you the link too because I think I send you the email, but I don't think I send you the link to kind of put more information so we know where to send them. So I'll send you the link once I'm done here. I have a meeting in about an hour. So once I'm done here, I'll run to my meeting. It won't be long. It's like this is gonna be about an hour. And don't try to hold me, guys. Okay, I can't miss this. And then once I'm done with that, and I'll finish my meeting and then I'll send you the link. So not a problem. Thank you so much. Okay. So it's like you are a creative. Welcome, my love. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So, it is definitely important to remember that you have your own thing. You have your own talents. You might be good at stuff, but you got to learn how to properly use them, how to utilize them, or get yourself a manager, to know how to expand on your talent so people don't take advantage of you. Imagine, for example, you're a singer, okay? And um you love to sing, and when you're good at something, you love to do it. If you love to dance, if you dance, or if you sing, or if you write, you always love to do what you do. And when people ask you, you don't even think of, you need to eat, you need to feed your family, you need to take care of family, you got responsibilities. You don't even think about getting your stuff together and give them a package, or tell them this is how much it's going to cost you. You don't even think of that. The minute they tell you come perform, you just like, oh yeah, sure, I'll be there. And you show up and you go perform, and you totally, and then now you get home and your wife or your husband is like, okay, what's the money? So you went for like 4 hours and you don't have a dime. What is this? And sometimes some of us, we are so passionate about what we do, we end up the one paying people to do what we do. You pay someone to do what you do for them. While they're supposed to be the one paying you, you're the one paying them just because you're so passionate. So sometimes, like I said, it's important for you to understand and recognize your talent. And once you know what your talent is, build on that. If you need to take some courses to expand yourself, if you need, whatever it is that you need to do to kind of help yourself so people don't take advantage of you, do it. Don't waste time on it. Don't wait for anybody to come for you to help you, because usually it doesn't happen. Nobody's gonna really rescue you unless you have like that divine calling where someone is assigned to you and they're like, you know what, they're gonna help you. It's not gonna happen. So remember, your divine gift is not something you're gonna force, it's not something you're gonna battle, it's not something, that's gonna come, you're gonna get done like, under pressure. It's usually something that comes to you effortlessly. Okay, it exists before you even knew you had it. Okay, before you even know you have it, it was already in you. Okay, sometimes you may even try to ignore it. It doesn't matter, it's still gonna be within you. So how many times, sometimes there's some kids, the way they grew up, you were a dancer and they're like, oh no, we don't want no dancer, we want lawyers, we want doctors. And then you go to college, you give them their gifts, you give them their degrees, you give them their certificate. Your parents wanted you to become certain things, you go ahead and you became all that for them. And after you became all that, what do? You go right back to what you wanted to do initially. You go right back to what you wanted to do. And what you wanted to do was dancing, you go back to dancing. You wanted to write, you go back to writing. Because it's like no matter how much you try to draw away from what you do, you will become so frustrated, you have to come back to it. And unfortunately, some people, they cross over and they never really got to explore that side of them. They never really got to fulfill their dream, to fulfill their calling. But it doesn't matter what you do, how you do it, okay? You still gonna end up doing what you were assigned to do initially. Okay? So maybe you're meant to teach, or you're meant to heal, create, lead, inspire, or build. Sometimes you find people that were born leaders, and instead of them leading, they're the one taking comment from someone else. And at some point, you see this person become very miserable at their job. They become very frustrated because you know what you're doing is not you. It's not you. It's not who you were meant to be. It's not how you wanted your life to be. You're just forcing yourself to become something that you're not. You're forcing yourself to act in a way that you're not. You're forcing yourself to behave as though, this doesn't exist. In the meantime, you're lying to yourself. So it's time for you to get back to yourself. Maybe you have a way with words. I have a way with words. Doesn't matter what situation I walk into. I'm never afraid. I'm able to console you. I'm able to give you a word. I'm able to encourage you. But some people are not able to do that. Some people, it doesn't matter what you're going through. The minute, especially if it's something that's stressful, somebody had crossed over or somebody's hurt, they don't know what to say. They like freeze. And I've seen people in situations like that. And fortunately for them, I was with them and I put a word in. It's okay. You're going to be fine. Everything is going to work out. Just breathe. Give yourself some time. Take a little bit of a break. And I don't have any problem. It doesn't bother me. It it doesn't do anything to me. I'm able to just come up with the word no matter what situation you're into. It doesn't block me. Okay. This is true. I sneezed 3 times writing this. I received that. Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this confirmation. Exactly. So it is important. Maybe you have a way with deep intuition. You're the type of person when you say, don't go out today, people should listen to you. Because the minute you say that, something, you connected with something. That's why you said it. Maybe um you have a way with your hands. You can create magic with your hands through art or through healing. Some people, if you say you have a headache, if you say you have something and they're like, oh, let me see. And by the time they say, let me see, you're already sleeping. Or if you're still up, you feel better. Because you know what? They have a way with it. They have a way with this art. They have a way with their words. They have a way with their healing. They have a way with the magic that they do. And you know these people. Sometimes you pretend like you don't know. If I ask right now, some people be like, oh, I don't know. Hey chef, hey Mambo, welcome. You'll act like as if you don't know. But in reality, you do. You do. Because every time something happens to you, you know who to call. When you're overwhelmed, you know who to call. When you need a word, you know who to call. When you're going through a lot of things, welcome, Marie. You know who to call. Okay? When you're going through some kind of depression, you know who to call. When you're anxious, you know who to call. When you're applying for a job and you don't know how to act, you know who to call. So that's their gifts. Because the minute you call them, you will get results. It's not going to be just a phone call. It's not going to be just a conversation. It's going to be results. Okay? Maybe you're the type of person who carries ancestral wisdom. Yeah? You have a way to connect to spirit, Nancy. Or you have the ability to shift energy in a room. Hello. And you don't have to do anything. And when you're doing that, it's not like you're going to come in, hey, hello, nah. You come in, you look up, you look down, you look to the side, you see who's around, and you just sit. You're quiet. You're not doing anything, Hey, Becky, welcome. You're not doing anything crazy. You're not attacking anybody. You're not telling people any kind of weird stories. No, none of that. None of that. You walk in and quietly, things are just shifting around you. People are just changing and they don't even know why they're changing. People are just changing the way that they are. They changing the way that they talk. They changing the way that they do whatever it is that they do around you. Because you here and the energy has shifted. Okay? So you do what you do naturally without having to fight with yourself, without having to fight with anybody, without having to, just be in a battle, be in a constant battle, be in any kind of, craziness with yourself. It comes to you effortlessly. Okay? So your divine gifts and talents are the keys to unlocking effortless success and true fulfillment. Okay? But now you must also wonder, what happens when you ignore them? Hmm. Okay? And I think you have the answer to that, because for some of you who's denying and declining your call, you see how your life is going. You see the number of frustration. You see how much every time you try to do something, it doesn't work out. It's not because you don't have the talent. It's not because you're unable to do it, but it's just every time that you're doing it, you're not in your space. You're not in your zone. You're not there. It's not you. It's like sometimes, you're looking at the person, you're like, yeah, you're good at this, but you have the training for it, but that's not you, you know? All right, so now 3. Why ignoring your divine path creates blockages? Why when you decline it, when you ignore it, when you deny it, it creates blockages? When you deny your natural talents, life will start to feel like an uphill battle. Okay? And let me tell you why. Doors will keep closing. You will go and apply for jobs. You never talk to someone and they're like, yeah, I applied for this job. I applied for that job. And when I got there and the people weren't nice, and the people in the meantime, you're like, what do you mean? You're a nice person. Why would somebody not be nice to you? You're not in your divine calling. You're not taking your divine path. And that's why sometimes you see when people are becoming frustrated, they just don't understand. And then eventually, if they're the type of person, they start blaming the world. You know, welcome, Maxwell. They start blaming the world for what's going on in their lives. They're thinking that, oh, you know what? This is who's causing this. This is who's causing that. No, they didn't do anything to you. This is what you've done to your own self. Okay? So doors will keep closing. The universe is not punishing you, it is redirecting you toward your real path. So it's not about you not really being where you're supposed to be, but it's because the universe is telling you, listen, you're on the wrong path. Let me redirect you to the way you're supposed to go. So you were heading this way, and next thing you know, your car breaks down. You get into car accidents. The person that was supposed to pick you up never picked you up because you were not heading the right path. Another thing is you will feel disconnected and unfulfilled. It's like no matter what you do, you're still disconnected, you're still unfulfilled. Even if you succeed in something that isn't yours, which what I was telling you earlier, it won't feel right. No matter how much you do it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is such a great idea. We're going to make a lot of money. But guess what? You're miserable. And that's what you find, people who could be making millions and they're miserable. I've known people like that. And I'm telling you, they will make all the money. They will make all the contacts. But at the end of the day, they're still miserable because they're not in their calling. They're doing something they're good at. Yeah, you open the restaurant, you're making money. But at the end of the day, your thing is not into restaurant. You don't even like to cook. Your thing is actually behind the desk. Your thing is writing. So you could have taken that skill and you mix it with your writing and you do something else. That's why when you check the amount of things that I work on, I have journals, I have poetry, and that's because I'm a versatile worker. Not everybody's like that. Usually people don't tap into too much of their talent. If they do one thing, if they do poetry, they do poetry. If they do fantasy books, they do fantasy books. But me, I tap into everything because I've always been able to do that. I've always been able to write poetry ever since I was a kid. I did poetry for a long time, and then I write stories, but I never really published too much. I published more like children's books, and but I mostly sit in stuff to develop your mind, to develop your life, to support yourself, you know? So that's why, like, sometimes when you're not in your calling, everything you do, okay, everything you're trying to do, everything you attempt to do, welcome user, welcome king, you just keep finding yourself disconnected. You keep feeling unfulfilled. In the meantime, when everybody's looking at you, they're like, but you have a lot of success. You did well. You're doing really good. But to yourself, that's not what you see, because deep inside, you're still hurting. You're still seeing that, you know what, I'm not where I want to be. That's not what I want to do. Although you may be traveling the world, you're doing things people could only wish to do. Welcome, Wilkins. Okay? You're doing things that people only wish they could do. But for whatever reason, you're not enjoying it because it's not really your calling. Okay? So you may find yourself in success. You may have some success, you may make some money, you may be able to upgrade your lifestyle, but you'll still end up in frustration because you will feel constantly unfulfilled. Yeah? So you will also waste time chasing after what isn't meant for you. Okay? Welcome, Oite. Welcome, Naomi. Okay? You will waste time chasing after what is not meant for you. And the more you force what is not yours, okay? Welcome. Is that God morning? Welcome. Okay, the more you force what is not yours, the more exhausted you will feel. The more you force what is not yours, the more exhausted you will feel. So you're pretty much wasting your entire time chasing after what's not meant for you. Hey, Bika, welcome. All right. So you will also experience resistance, doubt, and setbacks because the universe is trying to wake you up. The universe is trying to redirect you. The universe is trying to tell you, listen, what you're doing is not what you're meant to do. You're meant to be a singer. You're meant to be a dancer. You're meant to be a writer. Go back into what you're meant to do. Stop trying to become something that you're not. Stop trying to be something that you're not, because that's not who you truly are. That's not who you truly meant to be. But the good news is, no matter what, I can't bring you the bad news, but the good news is the moment you step into what is truly yours, everything around you change. Everything around you changes. So that's why it's important to recognize it, no matter how far, no matter how late you think you are, still acknowledge it, because you know what? It's still part of you. Okay? You still gonna realize that, oh my God, I put so much time in trying to do this. In the meantime, I was meant to do that. Don't worry about lamenting on things you missed out. Focus on the time now. So if you recognize it now, if you feel like, you know what? Oh, I'm in it now. So take advantage. Get it done. All right? Welcome, Aina Wedu. All right? 4, the power of returning to your true essence. Okay? When you stop trying to be what you are not and embrace what is naturally within you, your life transforms. All right? When you embrace what is naturally yours. Greetings, 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 Majesty. Okay? Welcome, Lynette. When you embrace what is naturally within you, your life transforms. Your life can never be the same again. All right? Opportunities flow effortlessly to you. You'll see, like, this entire time you've been trying to find this, to find that. Oh, thank you so much for the gifts. You know, you try to find this, you try to find that, and nothing is working out. No matter how much you do, it's like you're wasting your time. No matter how much you attempt to, you know, be there for yourself, no matter how much you try to replace this, replace that, it's like nothing is working out for you. until the day when you change your mind and you're like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to continue doing this way. I'm not going to continue doing that way. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do what works for me. Welcome, Rod. Okay? I'm going to do what works for me. And enough is enough. And you're going to realize, like I said, opportunities will flow effortlessly to you. It's like sometimes you didn't realize that you had that kind of a talent inside of you. You never realized that you could do things the way that you do it. You could expand the way that you do it. And you will feel so much fulfillment inside of you. Okay? So you will feel energized. You will feel passionate. You will feel fulfilled. You will want to live. You will attract people and situation that aligns with your soul path. Exactly, Basta. They don't realize that. They don't. So when all of a sudden everything that used to be so hard for you, everything that used to be so difficult, so impossible to get done, and you start seeing doors opening for you, and you're wondering, that's all I had to do? All I had to do is reshift my focus on my work and then start writing my books again and then start doing the things I love to do, and then doors will open up? Are you kidding me? Why no one told me that? You understand? So sometimes that's all it is. You get into your work, you get back to dancing, you get back to singing, and then you start seeing doors opening for you. People who never thought of you. Hey, Noah, welcome. Hey, Wasmond, welcome. You start seeing people who were never there for you suddenly want to help you. People you thought did not like you suddenly want to be there for you. Okay? So you start attracting the people that's going to help to boost you up. You start attracting situations of, friendship or romance or family, you start attracting them, and they start aligning with your soul's path. They like, you know what? You've been riding for a ride for a while now. Don't you think you need a new headset? I got you. Don't you think you need a new speaker so you can focus on your work? Don't you think you need a stapler for when you're doing your research? Don't you think you need a new camera, something small you can take with you while you're traveling? Don't you think you need a new laptop? People will just show up and they will just be willing to help you. Okay? Welcome, connaissance. Welcome, Le Madame. Thank you. People will just feel attracted to you. People will just do things for you. Have you ever get into a store and you wanted certain things, you didn't have enough money, and people just like, oh, you know what, I got you. And you're like, who are you again? Because that's the kind of aura that you have now, because you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing. Okay? So manifestations becomes quicker and easier because you are in divine alignment. When you're in divine alignment, people cannot stop you. It doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. When you are in divine alignment and you say, you know what? Oh, thank you so much for sharing. Welcome, goddess. When you're in divine alignment, people will have no choice but to join the wagon. They'll have no choice but to join your path, but to join what it is that you're doing. Why? Because you're honest about it. You're honest with yourself. You're following your own divine path. And this is why this app is the perfect example. You see, all of a sudden, people want to do everything that everybody else is doing, but that's not yours. Find yours and do it. And the freedom this app gives you is that it doesn't matter what it is that you do, you can show them. If you're a person who does tricks on bikes, you could do it. If you're a person who's in the kitchen, you can do it. If you're a person who does whatever it is that you do, the app is like, come on, I got you, baby. But you're the one that's not taking the advantage of it. No matter what it is that you do with this app. I mean, you see it. That lady had a sauce she makes. Some people just like, oh my gosh, because people just follow the trend. So that's why it's important for you to do the best that you can to see if you can remain in divine alignment, because that's where the trick is. That's where it is. Welcome, Melomania. Cool. I like that. Exactly, Lamada. Whatever you're trying to do, because I'm in different social media, whatever you're trying to do, he says, do it right. So sometimes you can only do it right when it's yours. But when it's not yours, there's no such thing as doing it right because it's not yours. You don't even know how to do it right because it's not yours, you know? So I have we kind of welcome. So it's important for you to stay on your divine alignment. Your purpose becomes clear. Your actions become more powerful. So people have no choice even when they don't want to do certain things. They're going to end up doing it. And like I said earlier, even if people you thought that was supposed to be your enemy, people that was supposed to be hating you, people you thought that did not want to stand you, people you thought wanted you to fail are like, oh my God, Bested, did you say you needed a new camera for when you're going on the road? Oh my gosh, did wait, self-care, your backup power. Oh, this is five. You're like, that's a lot of money. 5T is expensive. But guess what? Because now you're honest with your divine path. You are on your divine calling. Therefore, the universe will just bring everything that you need to make it work. You didn't have a microphone. People will bring you microphones. People will bring you laptops. People will like, oh, I have an extra laptop. You want it? I have an extra this. You want it? I have an extra. And you're like, wait, I don't even know you. What's your name again? It doesn't matter because you know what? You're on a divine path. So the universe will conspire to make sure that it works. Because when you're on your divine path, you allow the universe to remain balanced. Okay. Okay? You allow the universe to remain balanced. Yeah. I mean, the enemy does not exist, it's within your mind, but just for the purpose of the example, since that's the common language that people get. Welcome, Tide. You know, I mean, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside does not exist. But because of this world, there's a certain language that people understand, so you kind of like got to meet them halfway. Once we get to a certain level, welcome, OQ. OQE, so can. Beautiful. You know, it reminds me of, what is it, Kirikan? Or Kirikan, I think. So it's important for you to be in your own divine calling. And when you're in your divine alignment, certain things cannot attain you. Exactly. Exactly, Luma. I'm my own enemy. It's like sometimes it's difficult to say to people like, um, when you're every time you meet someone, you're meeting yourself. It's an aspect of you that you can't stand. It's an aspect of you that gets on your nerve. And because you have not addressed it, so when you meet someone else, they display to you that which is in you, they project it onto you. And you're thinking, this person is so rude. But then you didn't realize you're rude with your own self. That's why. Exactly. When I pray a lot, read a lot, dance every day, try to take 30 minutes for yourself. Mm-hmm. Hotel unité. And that's important, the time for yourself. And that's one of the hardest thing that is with open floor like this or with private client. That's one of the hardest thing ever that people, the minute you say that to someone, they're ready to run. They don't want to hear the idea of time alone. The minute you say time alone, it's as if you just say, I don't like you no more. Welcome, young green. The minute you say time alone, it's like people just like, oh, why you don't like me? What did I do? Exactly, Bastet. They don't want to do that. They don't want to hear about time alone. And sometimes I have had to work with certain clients to the point that I had to do video call time alone. That's how bad people cannot. Because when someone invests time alone, you can see it. And when I'm not seeing the changes that should have happened, and I say, you know what, we're doing video call time alone. And I literally have to be on the video, making them sitting on a corner, sitting in the closet, time alone. Literally, because some people wouldn't do it. They can't take it. They start itchy. They start, you know, they can't take it. They don't know what to do. I say, stop. Stop being so fidgety. Sit back and just relax. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to just sit. Or if this is too much, if you have a rocking chair, sit back, put your legs up, just relax. That's all. Nothing much. Welcome, Lillian. Welcome, Matt. That's all. But people cannot handle it because it requires to sit with yourself and get to know yourself. And when that happens, it's like, it's the impossible thing. Don't say everything else. Say tarot reading, say limine, say say everything else, but do not say time alone. Okay? Say everything else, but don't say time alone. Okay? And we're gonna be friends. That's how it works. They never say no, but I'm just saying from experience, that's kind of like how it goes. Once you tell people time alone and their attitude changes. I have had people that had to go, and when they realize that they still not getting the results they want, they come back. And they say, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe there's something about this thing. I don't get it. I'm willing to learn. And another thing is, when you get into spirituality, you got to be willing to learn. Sometimes people get into spirituality, they're not willing to learn. They're not willing to change their ways. They're not willing to look into themselves. They think they're just going to come in and then just tell people what to do. And then they're just going to be rich. And then no. It's a journey. In journeys, you're going to have up, and times you're going to have down. When you thought everything was okay, boom, parents are gone. Child you're supposed to bury, child is gone. Uncle is gone. You could be like, you a person who grew up who never seen anybody gone, and all of a sudden 5 people in 1 year, and you're like, wait, what's going on? You had a beautiful home, you have beautiful car, gone. You had a great job, gone. So when you're talking about getting into spirituality, sometimes people think it's just this joke. It's just, no, my darling. It's deeper than that. How are you, Matt? Welcome. It's not that. And when you're gonna try to find, you're gonna get a lot of off-take friends disappear. Yes, your friends are gonna disappear because, hey, Sewa, how are you, my love? Welcome, Sewa. You're gonna lose friends because part of it, when you enter spirituality, is because you went through an experience. And Rich Rising, beautiful, you're very welcome. And when you enter, you did say that to yourself. You say, you know what, I'm ready to let go what's no longer serving me. So a lot of presence, a lot of characters that were in your life, they were not serving you. What do you think is going to happen? You said it with your mouth and it is done. And sometimes that's why I always like to caution people, be careful what you say, because your words, it doesn't go void. If it goes, it's going to return. And in return, it's going to fulfill what you said it should fulfill. So I don't understand why people don't want to say, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm healthy, I'm joyous, I'm happy, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm impeccable, I'm abundant, I'm prosperous. I don't know why people don't want to say that. this is not going to return void. Do you understand? So you're so welcome. Yes, people are afraid of the light because they're more afraid of the dark. Sometimes to get to the light, you got to go through the dark. That's another conversation for another day. you know? Yes, my queen. That's another conversation for another day. People are afraid of the light because they more afraid of the dark. They afraid of what's within them. If you learn to get within, there are certain things that just don't matter to you. Let me see if I could make this bigger. Here you go. So it's just that you got to get within. You got to get within. Thank you, Ramadai. Thank you for sharing, guys. Exactly, Sewe. That's balance. We need balance in our lives. And when you have balance, you realize that you have more clarity in the things that you do. You have more clarity in the things that you do because once you don't have balance, you're all over the place and people can make you do things that you don't want to do. Just because you don't have balance, you become afraid of your own self. Just like they say, like the dog is afraid of their own shadow. So you become afraid of your own shadow. You see your shadow and you're like, why? Because you're afraid of your own self. It's not even they don't stay in the dark for too long, Lamadali. They don't even go near that at all. They've been made to believe that it's so terrible that they don't make the effort at all. I mean, people being afraid of light myth is just people are so trendy. So because I'm popular and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't use anything else. That's all I use. And people use this, even if some of them they're allergic to it, they'll use it because you know what? Somebody popular said it's good. So people forget to do the things that work for themselves. They forget to stand in the gap. People are afraid to stand in the gap. And when it comes to spirituality, that's something you do every day. You're standing in the gap for yourself because there's no other way around it. You got to stand in the gap for yourself. So people are going to be afraid of the light because the light is not something you just come and sit in. It requires sacrifice, it requires work. And I'm not talking sacrifices that you're making go kill a chicken. I say the word, I was trying to skip it. I'm not trying to go catch a chicken to do anything to it, but I'm talking about your own self, sitting by yourself. Do your reflection, your meditation, your time alone. Just a simple thing, taking a walk into nature, go see the sun, go see the moon, just the simple things. And people find that this is too much because you know what? You got to tell them, give me $10,000 for me to go do this and do that for you. Okay? They don't agree to something just as simple as it is. Get some water every day, go at 3 o'clock, go at 6 o'clock and do what you need to do. So people don't understand that language. They want you to be mean. They want you to be, so barbaric in your language. Don't you ever go to those lives where people are like so mean in their language, calling people dumb and stupid and whatever. And people sit under the live, they listen to these people, and I'm like, but they're hurting your feelings. They're cursing you out. This person is using sorcery against you. They're using language. They're using words. There's no bigger word. There's no bigger sorcery than words. I don't have to do anything. I can use my words and destroy you because I send it in the ether. And sometimes people just don't get that part of it because you tell them something as simple as go meditate. You say, you know what? Go say your affirmations. Nah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, work on yourself is not easy. It's never going to be easy because you know what? It's not a norm. It's not like we get up and then our families, like, the minute you get up, like right now for us, perhaps this generation, we teach our kids, like when you're up, say your words. It's not going to be the prayer, I'm dying, they live, that's not, because I talked about prayer recently. Prayer is not about begging somebody to save you and rescue you out of a situation. Prayer is much more encouraging your own self to do what you're supposed to do. You're aligning your own self with your own sentiment, with your own emotion, with your own talents and gifts and abilities to do whatever that you were supposed to do. So sometimes people think that they're going to change, some God in the sky, they're going to change their minds to get what they need. No. And that's why people become so frustrated, even in spirituality. And recently I posted something, I think yesterday, um, because I'm still like on different panels because of some of the work that I used to do in different environment. Because I don't trust. I mean, I don't trust. I don't. I don't. I forgot the word. Wait, hold on. I don't judge, is what I meant. I don't judge people. I give my trainings no matter what, in church, in the peristyle, in medical, in schools, in recreational center. It doesn't matter. When I do motivations and affirmations in some of my work, I do it anywhere. And sometimes, I'm in the the texting groups and whatever, and and you have the church sending texts yesterday because there was a storm. So they're like, telling the people there's a storm, but they send a link, and they're like, sending your tithes and offering. Okay, they say sending your tithes and offering because you know what, there's a storm and we're not gonna open the church today, we're gonna do church online, but sending your tithes and offering. But I was talking to my friend, I said, how about you say, you know what, I know there's a storm coming, some of you don't have heat in your home, come here, we got you. Some of you might not already have food, let us know where you are, we pick you up, we help you. Hey, Peter Moon, welcome, love. you know so that's what I mean. That's the honesty in the spirituality. When you can help somebody, you help somebody. It's not a matter of always about you. It's like when you have a problem, the pastor is going to tell you, hey, go pray to God to get an answer. But when he needs to pay his bill, he tells you, come and bring your paychecks. So why don't you ask the same faith you want me to have towards my God? Why can't you have the same faith to ask him too? But that's another conversation for another day. Okay? So, as I said, when you return to your essence, okay? I'm wonderful, my love. Thank you. How about you? When you return to your essence, your purpose becomes clear and your actions become more powerful than ever. Okay? So, this is the magic of embracing your divine essence, and eventually you get to do what you got to do. You fulfill your oh, thank you, love. You fulfill that work that you were meant to do. You do what you're supposed to do, and you see, you move on, and you feel that burden is relieved from you. You don't feel that weight constantly on you, trying to figure things out, trying to tell people what to do, trying to tell people that's not how it works, trying to constantly fighting with people. No. When you clear yourself, that's what happens. So 5, how to recognize and return to your true talents. Okay? If you're wondering, how do I even know what my divine talents are? Ask yourself these questions. Okay, I'm not going to tell you, oh, you are a singer, you were doing. No, that's not my business. But I'm going to tell you some questions you can ask yourself to kind of see where you are and how to figure it out on your own. Because this life is not about people figuring things out for you, but it's about you figuring things on your own. You're a soul that's been here before, and there are things that you needed to learn that you lack learning. So now they're asking you, you know what? You need to get back to this. You need to go back and learn the things you need to learn. Okay, so let's get into those questions. All right. What have I always been naturally good at? What have I always been naturally good at? Ever since you were little, what were you naturally good at? What came to you naturally without having to ask anybody, how to do this? You never felt tired about it. We all know Bastard been like dancing. It's 4 hours later and she's still at it like nothing happened. For me, you already know I've been writing and writing, and it's like day and it's night and I'm still writing and it doesn't even bother me. I used to get in trouble because it used to get dark outside and I'm like this. And it's not because the light is not there. Because I know, like, I'm like, if I get up to go turn on the light, I might forget what I'm gonna write down, or I'm gonna lose that great idea. So I'm sitting there like this, just because I don't want to turn on the light. That's probably why I have this today. Okay? So what have you been naturally good at? Okay? What do people always come to you for? Some of you, whenever someone is doing a party, they come to you. Some of you, somebody needed some work done, they need to get some clearance, some clarity. They're like, you know what? I know who to call. Let me call Nancy. Some of you needed some healing, needed something to be, oh, let me call Nibo. Let me call Le Madache. Somebody needed guidance. Oh, let me call Matt. Okay? Somebody needed to, I don't know, laugh. They're like, let me call Petit Gamoun. And I'm just assuming and saying at the same time. Okay? So, what did people come to you naturally? Okay? What do I feel called to when I doubt myself? So if you're doing something and all of a sudden you feel like you're doubting yourself, what do you feel naturally to go do? What do you feel like, I cannot do this, but this comes to me naturally? What lights up my spirit when and makes me feel alive? Okay? Exactly, Bastet. When you're dancing. Exactly. You know, you feel great because you're in direct connection. You're feeling connected. You're feeling aligned with your calling. You're feeling aligned with who you are. You're feeling aligned with what you're supposed to do. So it's normal. It's like, listen, I'm not hungry. I'm not thirsty. Listen, okay, fine. I'll drink something. Give me something. I drink. All right, leave me alone. And you're like dancing. And it's like, listen, child, it's 4 hours later. You're not tired? Leave me alone. Because you know what? That's where you feel yourself. And sometimes you will bend time. You bend reality. You bend reality when you're doing what you were called to do. And these are some of the secrets of the ages that people don't understand. And this is why sometimes you see that artists, like writers, painters, dancers, sometimes they may get on your nerve, the way that they handle life, the way that they don't want to live life with pressure, with all this craziness. It's because they're not living their life like you. You're still looking for where you're going. They already got where they're going. They already understand. Thank you, Manuela, for following. Okay, they already know where they're going. They're already in their path. So that's why you see sometimes artists get on your nerve. I'm not talking celebrity, I'm talking artist. Okay, artist. They get on your nerve because when you're trying to, like, oh my God, we gotta do, and you see them like, okay, all right, fine, let's go. All right, let's do it. Let me finish dressing up. And they're always taking their time because they're already in their walk. They're already in their alignment. So it's like nothing in the world matters to them because they can jump from this dimension to another dimension to another realm. They can jump from here to other worlds that if they explain to you, you'd be like, you're lying. Okay? So when you're an artist, and you don't have to be a celebrity to be an artist. You could be an artist at home. You just never really put your work out there. You just never get to be recognized. You just never get to do, some of the biggest things. But you're still it. Okay? You're still it. When you do it, you still feel like you're flying. You still feel like you listen. Bastard, when I'm dancing, I don't even think I touch the ground. I think I can touch the sky. I think I'm in the universe. I can see the stars. I can touch the stars. And people would not understand these things unless if it's someone who's aligned in that same journey with you, they would not understand these things. Okay? Hey, butterfly, welcome, welcome. So your divine gift is already in you. Stop looking outside for it. No one is going to give it to you. And start investing time to look within. Okay? You started dancing at 4, Bastard? Wow. Exactly. That's a comfort zone. Exactly, Bastard. Because when you're doing it, you're another person. It's like no matter how much somebody got on your nerve, when you're doing it, it doesn't even matter anymore. It doesn't even matter anymore. It's like, whatever, man. You just keep on moving because you know what? That's not your priority anymore. You got bigger fish to fry. It's like, oh, I have a choreography in my head. Oh my God, I got to get it out. Oh, I have another book. Oh my God, I have another painting. You don't have time for them. Okay? So to return to your essence, to be able to do that, here's something that you can start doing. Okay? You can start letting go of the false identities you've taken on. All right? Trusting that your path will open as you align with your natural gifts. And practicing daily self-acceptance and releasing doubts. Saying yes to what flows and no to what drains you. So sometimes we do certain things and the thing is draining you. And instead of you saying like, you know what, this is draining me. I got to get out of here. Instead, you keep holding on to it. It's draining you and you're like, okay, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And then it never does. Then what? You just wasted your time. You wasted your energy. You wasted, good, energy, good time you could have used to do something else. You could have done so much greater things with that time and that energy within you. But instead, what do? It's okay. Yeah, I'll hang in there. And then you wasted your time. And by the time you want to catch up to that time, you've already lost it. It's not going to come back. And that's important for you to know. You can also keep practicing daily self-acceptance and releasing doubt. Daily self-acceptance and releasing doubt. So a lot of times the reason you feel stuck and frustrated is that you don't accept yourself. Every part of your being, every part of your essence tell you you're a dancer. But you're embarrassed because you know what? You're from the church. You're from a private family. You're from a family of doctors. You're from a family of lawyers. You're from a family of architects. They don't support what you said you want to do. Therefore, what do? You start stop accepting yourself. Welcome, Savannah. Okay? You stop accepting yourself. And you start holding on to all that doubt, those doubts. You start telling yourself, I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I can reach. I don't know if I can. Because you know what? You're holding on to the doubts. So say yes to what flows and no to what drains is the way to go. If something is draining you, some friends, some environment, they're draining you, then that's not where you belong. That's not where you need to be. All right? So 6, encouragement, trust your path. You were not born empty. Because a lot of you, when you start talking, is like, oh, I don't have any talent. I don't have any gifts. I don't know. You did not come here empty. You came here with something. But it's a matter of you taking time with yourself so you can have clarity to find out what you were born with. You came into this world fully equipped. No one is going to equip you. You came fully equipped with everything that you need. So it's time for you to take that into consideration and start realizing, you know what? I came fully equipped. I came with all my stuff in my hands. So let's go. It's time to get it done. So stop fighting yourself. Stop doubting your gifts. Welcome, power of love. Stop forcing what is not meant for you. Step into who you are always meant to be. You know who you were always meant to be, but there's always something that's holding you back, making you feel awkward because you know what? Your mom is a doctor, your dad is an engineer, your brother's a lawyer, your other brother, sister is, um, welcome, send love. The other one is a another engineer, a nurse practitioner. You know, everybody is into those kind of careers, and you're the one who showed up and talk about you want to be a painter, you want to be a dancer, you want to be a writer, and they're like, what is wrong with you? We don't do that here. We do more than that. And you're confused, you're embarrassed because you're like, I don't know what to do. Everybody's like doing all these big jobs. You know, others are even in politics. You're so welcome. You're welcome. You know, and they make you feel funny because you're like, what am I gonna do? All these people have all these big jobs. They have contacts, people know them, you know, and what am I supposed to do? To be like, you know, the one who's just showing up in simple clothing, you know, talking about I don't eat meat, talking about I'm only eating fresh stuff, I'm only eating fresh fruits and vegetables, I only drink coconut water, while these people are talking about having caviar tonight. So you got to learn to be honest with yourself and recognize yourself and accept yourself, even if you feel uncomfortable. Because that's the true power in things. When you're running a little bit behind, you catch yourself up and you say, you know what? That's not where I'm meant to be in. That's not what I'm supposed to do. And when you recognize that, have the audacity to change. Welcome, Kate Quinn. Have the audacity to change. Don't let them put you in a box and lock you up and throw the keys. All right? 7, let's get into affirmations. You can repeat these daily to realign with your divine gifts. Okay? You can choose to repeat these within yourself or out loud, depending if you're at work or if you're at home. All right? I fully embrace the divine gifts within me. Everything I need is already inside of me. I trust my natural talents to guide me to success. I release all that is not aligned with my true essence. I am divinely supported as I walk my true path. Good? All right. 8, let's now make some declarations. Yeah? Take a deep breath. Drink some water if you have some water. Okay? Today, and when you're saying these, say them with conviction. Don't just say them and I'm like, you know, I am, and you're like, no. Say them with conviction, the conviction of how you speak. You know, I might speak certain way, but you might speak certain. Just say them with conviction. Okay? Today, I reclaim my divine essence. I walk in my truth, knowing that my gifts will open doors for me. I no longer chase what is not meant for me. I attract what is already mine. My divine gifts are enough. I am enough. Okay? Got it? Beautiful, beautiful. Now, let's just discuss some aha moments and conclusion. The aha moment today is simple. Your energy is best invested nurturing what is already within you. So stop trying to adapt and get into stuff that's not even you. Welcome, hates me. Okay? So your energy is best invested when you're nurturing what is already within you. And I've given you those questions earlier that you can utilize to identify what you're looking for. Okay? Your divine talents are not small. Stop minimizing your divine talents. Okay? They are not accidental. They are your power. They are what is going to help you to go to the next level. So don't simply take your talents for granted, thinking that they are nothing. No, they are your divine power. They are how you're going to get to the next level. So keep pushing yourself. Keep doing what you do. Instead of trying to fit into someone else's path, ask yourself, what will happen when I finally embrace my own? Because the moment you do, everything changes. The moment you do, everything changes. So 10, call to action. Take time this week to reflect on your natural talents. Write down what has always come to you naturally. Commit to focusing on your divine path, not someone else's. Okay? Someone else's path is not yours. Take one step today that aligns with your true essence. Just take one step. Welcome, MP. Take one step today. Okay? And for more guidance, support, and empowerment, check out the books that I shared with you and the package that we're sharing with you. That we have a workshop coming up. Okay? And the time is up for the workshop next month. So you only have about weeks. Okay, you only have about a week or so to sign up. Okay, so we're gonna be working with self-esteem journal. Okay, we're gonna be working with this book, and then we're gonna be working with self-love workbook. This is such a beautiful book, like wow. And I'm not being biased, I promise. And then we're going to be working on this, okay? 369 manifestation, and I'm sure you guys have heard about it. And then we're going to be working in this, okay? 77 days of iron will. So this is like a big deal, okay? Because this is something that we should begin the new year with. And since some people are in the new year already, and some of us are like in the end of the year, because new year starts in March. So different timeline, okay? So we're gonna be working with these books, get familiar with them, get in touch with me, so I can put you in touch so you could get in the workshop. It's worth it. It's very worth it. Welcome, Lillian. So get involved, do something for yourself. And I have different ones: self-therapy, guided affirmation journals, money manifestation. I'm gonna be putting out soon. I mean, this book been done for a couple of years, but it's just because I'm being judgmental, because I know some people just don't get it to the level that it is. So I had to like take a break and let it sit for a while before I got it out. But I did get in trouble, just like I got in trouble with these books, because I took a while. I was using them with my clients, but I didn't put them out. And then when people finally find out, and they were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you held on to these books. And this is so good. And they've been helping. They've been making a difference in people's life. And I promise you, since today is not one of those days where I can get these people to come up and talk to you, The people that's been using it, it works. It works for them. Is Besta still here? Because I don't know. I don't think I see Jen. Because I could have her come up and they could tell you. But let me finish it and then I'll see who's here. And then they could come up and tell you about it. Okay? So this book will help you apply today's message in your life because it matters. It matters. It's about time. Welcome, Wiz. Welcome, Hugan. Wano. Welcome. Welcome, Mr. Aibobo. Welcome. Okay, so it is definitely important. Okay, get these books. If you cannot take the class, you can take it for, you could, buy it for someone, gift your sister, gift your sibling, your cousin, even your mother, because a lot of people have those. Glad to see you too. I know. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. So it's important because sometimes even your mother could benefit from this course because this workshop at this point, because sometimes we have certain state of minds that we don't change. We keep these things with us and they don't help us grow. You imagine someone who had a very nasty language with you when you were growing up, and now you have your own children and this person is still having nasty language with your own children. So such a person need a new training because they don't understand the impact of their words, their affirmation, their declarations on other people. Okay? So 11, meditation, aligning with your divine essence. Okay? You can simply close your eyes, take deep breaths, okay? And repeat to yourself. I'm just going to give you some words. Repeat to yourself, I am exactly who I'm meant to be. I honor my divine talents. I release all distractions and step into my true path. My success is already written. Okay? So take another deep breath. Feel yourself aligning with your highest self. Feel yourself elevating. Feel yourself, welcome business coach, welcome tax. Okay? Feel yourself aligning with your highest self. Feel yourself, divinely guided to just elevate yourself, to see yourself in a different level. Because a lot of times we want to elevate, we want to grow, we want to do more, but we keep staying at the same level. We keep doing the same things, and then we're still hoping we get different results. Not gonna work. If you are doing the same things, then you're gonna get the same things. If you keep eating all this chicken, well, guess what? You're gonna get the results of chicken. Your belly gonna be up to here. You won't even be able to sit at the desk. You're gonna be like this, and you're gonna block the camera. You're gonna be like, "Can you guys see me? Hey, I'm still here." So it's just like, get with yourself, find ways to align with yourself, understand yourself, see where you are, and don't make excuses. When something is not working out, don't make excuses. Okay? Don't make excuses. So 12, some well wishes and final words for you. May you walk boldly in your divine truth. May your natural talents open doors beyond your imagination. May you find clarity, alignment, and deep fulfillment. You matter. Your gifts matter. The world needs you fully aligned. So don't think you just want to be in the world, half of you. No, you need to be in the world with your entirety, with the entire being of you. So the world needs you, but the world needs you fully. The world needs you aligned. So get to it. Closing mantra 13. Know that You are the creator of your reality. Focus on yourself, invest in yourself, stand your ground. Gratitude is the key to mystical doors. And I don't know if I have said this enough time to you guys. Okay? I don't know if I've said this enough time to you. Welcome, Omar. Gratitude opens doors to places that you probably never thought you could enter. Gratitude is just everything. Okay? So have gratitude the minute you get up, the minute you open your eyes and realize that, oh, I'm still in this world, I'm still in this realm, I'm still in this dimension. Hallelujah. You know, have gratitude. Start thinking um you're divine for this beginning of the day. Yeah. So what will you do with this message today? Every time I ask you that same question at the end, what will you do with the message that you hear? A lot of times we hear the message. When we are within the message, we are connected, we are happy, we're like, oh yes, we are elevated, we are shaken, we are ready to make moves, we are ready for it all. But the minute, welcome Nini, the minute that you out of this life, you forgot the promises you made to yourself. You still got to keep up with everything that you promised. You still got to stay in gratitude. You still got to invest in yourself. You still got to look out for yourself. You still got to respect yourself. Practice self-care, self-love, self-respect, and all of that stuff and manifestation. So you heard it all. I don't know if you were here from the beginning or you just coming in. You heard quite much. And it doesn't matter the time that you came in, you got what you were looking for. You got that word. You didn't need to be here for the entire hour. Whatever it is that you came for, you got it. But now what are you going to do with it? You asked for a sign when you got up today or when you got up yesterday or even last week. You asked for a sign because you didn't know how you were going to move forward. You didn't know how things was going to work out. So you asked for a sign. So you came in, you probably got your sign, but guess what? You're going to overlook it because you're going to be like, oh, I don't think so. I mean, what is this lady talking about with these little dots on your forehead, with the little, feather on her head? What is this indigenous woman talking about? It doesn't matter. Just pick up your message. Pick up whatever that's yours. Whatever that concerned you, whatever the sign that you have asked for, pick it up. Stop making excuses. Stop thinking that it's going to work out tomorrow. Stop thinking that, you know what, maybe another time. Welcome, user. Welcome, Martalis. Okay? So whatever it is that you're looking for, now is the time. Now is the time. Okay? You asked for a sign, you got your sign. Get used to your gratitude. Get used to rising up in power. Stop waiting for people to do for you. Do for yourself. Invest in your talent. Invest in your gift. Invest in the things that's going to help you to build a better legacy for your family. Stop playing with yourself. Okay? So, again, I ask you the same thing. What will you do with the message that you heard today? Rise in the spirit world, health, harmony, abundance. Rise in the spirit world, health, harmony, abundance. There's many more I can get into, but I'm just saying these three. Recognize that you have your own talents. Recognize that you matter. Understand that you are special. You are meant for something special in this world, and don't miss out on your calling just because you get carried away, just because you're dealing with your friends, just because you're giving other people credits, just because you're not doing what you're supposed to do because you're afraid to be yourself. Be with yourself. Respect yourself. Okay? All right? So we talked about multiple things. Okay? Um the purpose of the message is to remind you to return to your divine essence, embrace your true talents. Okay? And we talked. I had too much coffee today. Okay? Don't judge me. I literally had this entire thing. Well, there's a little bit left, maybe a cup. And when I say a cup, I'm talking about this. um, okay, so I talked to you about why it matters, right? And focusing on what is already within you. You're the master of your own reality. It's time for you to step up. And I talked to you about why sometimes you feel frustrated and why is that? The blockages you have, I tell you about why is that? The constant failure, the exhaustion that you're feeling, I remind you is because you're ignoring your own talents. You're doing everything else, but you're ignoring your divine talents. So the universe find ways to divinely redirect you to get you right back on path, on the right path. So when you see things happening to you, it's not because always to shut you down, but sometimes it's to give you the proper redirection. It wasn't until something happened to you, then you realize like, oh my gosh, I wasn't in my calling. Oh my gosh, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, what I was meant to do, because I was too distracted by other things. And I reminded you that sometimes you may be in your divine gifts, but for whatever reason, you still feel like maybe it's that thing. It's not even close to me. It's not even coming in my direction. But for whatever reason, let me clear my. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, so it's important for you to find your divine gifts, to define them and redefine them, and get involved in them, and invest in them. Okay, so a lot of times you invest in everybody else, you do things for everybody else, and then when it comes to yourself, you want to be cheap. When it comes to yourself, you want to change your mind. When it comes to yourself, you find every excuses under the tree. So it's time for you to do you. All right. And I reminded you that whatever that comes to you naturally, that's what's yours. You don't need to go look out for somebody else's stuff. Okay. Welcome, Enid. You don't need to look for somebody else's stuff. So whatever it is that you're meant to do, that it may be teaching, healing, creating, leading, inspiring, or building, whatever it is, you need to get into yourself and to do your own thing, and stop waiting for somebody to come and validate you. You came in this world with everything that you were supposed to have, so you don't need to wait for somebody to come and validate you. So perhaps you're carrying ancestral gifts, ancestral wisdom. Don't deny that. The connection to spirit world. You might be the only one in your family that's able to do that. You might be even the only one in your town that's able to do that. Don't deny that. Don't decline that. Don't ignore it. All right? You have the ability to shift energy. Don't deny that. Respect that. Okay, you might walk into a room, you didn't even do anything, you didn't even say anything, you just walk into the room, you looked around and you shift the entire energy. You're able to do that. All right. Your divine gifts and talents, they are the keys to unlocking effortless success in your life and true fulfillment. Okay. Welcome, Labelle. So every time that you are dealing with other people, you're always thinking, oh my gosh, I don't feel this, I don't feel that. That's because you're not in your own path. You're not operating in your divine power, in your divine gifts, in your divine talents. So it's time for you to be aligned. Okay? So when you're ignoring your divine path, it creates blockages. So find ways to deliberate yourself, to free yourself. Okay, because you will have doors closing. You know that you're good at that job, and everywhere you go they say no to you because you're not in your divine path, you're not in your divine calling. You might have gifts, you might have skills for that job. You might be a good nurse, but you are meant to be a doctor. You might be a good nurse, but you are meant to be a good singer. You might be a good nurse, but you're meant to be a great writer. You might be a good nurse, but you are meant to be a teacher, a spiritual teacher, that is. So stop denying and ignoring your gifts. So anytime that you see these things are happening to you, you're being blocked everywhere you go. You feel unfulfilled. You feel no matter what it is that you do, it's time for you to be redirected divinely and to get on the path that you need to. Okay? So stop wasting your time, stop wasting your energy, okay? And even stop wasting your money. Keep going around asking people to look for you, to do things for you. Stop doing that and start getting into yourself. Okay? You will experience resistance, doubt, setbacks. No matter what you do, things that's supposed to turn into gold will turn into ashes because you are not in your divine path. So you realize that everybody's getting ahead and you running, but you're in the same spot. You're in the same spot. So it means that it's time for you to move on, to get connected and know your divine path. And I reminded you to return to your essence, because by being in your essence, that's how you get access to opportunities. That's how you get access to your energy. Okay? That's how you become more passionate and fulfilled about everything that you do. You attract the people that needs to be in your life to help you. Okay? Your manifestation, they start working out for you because you're doing what you're supposed to do. Your purpose becomes clearer. You know which way to go. You're not afraid. Even if people are not supporting you, you don't care. You don't even see that they don't support you because you only have one goal in mind. Your goal is just to get this done. It's just to publish this book. So you don't care if they support you, they don't support you. You just need to get this book out. Okay? So, and I gave you some questions on how to recognize your true talent. Asking yourself what comes to you naturally. What do people recognize you as when people need certain things? Hey, Nonush, how are you, beautiful? When people need certain things, who do they go to when they need those things? Is it what they always come to you? Some people need certain food. They need pate. They always come to you. Maybe that's your thing. I mean, rarely it's going to be, but maybe it is. When people need to go to a big party, you're the one that got to do their hair. Okay? So recognize that, understand that. And what do I feel called to do? What is it that when you do it, you just feel elevated? You feel like, oh my God, like you could be doing this for free. It doesn't even bother you because that's where you belong. Okay? What lights up your spirit the minute it's like you're doing it? You feel alive. You feel like, oh my God, where has this been? Oh my God, like, ooh, you feel yourself. You don't feel like, I don't feel good. I'm tired. You don't feel that way because you know what? That's where you belong. That's your tribe. That's who you were meant to be. Okay? So your divine gift is already in you. Stop looking outside, start looking within. Okay? So return to your essence. Let go of the false identity that you have. People are telling you things. Let go of that stuff. Trust your own path. Okay? Align with your own natural gifts. Practice daily self acceptance. Even when you feel like, oh my gosh, I feel embarrassed by this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. You know what? Accept yourself just as you are. Release the doubt. Release all that stuff that's in your head that's making you feel scared. Release it. Let it go. And say yes to what flows. Say no to what drains you. Welcome, Marie. Okay? I remind you to stay encouraged. Trust your path. If it comes to you, it's because it's supposed to be. So stop fighting yourself. Stop doubting yourself. Stop forcing yourself to do other things. In the meantime, what you do naturally is right here. You leave it and you go do something else. You go travel. You go on the other side of the world to do something that's not even you. And then within a little bit of time, you realize that it's not even you. I've known, kids that would go to school and then their parents are forcing them to become nurses, to become whatever else. And then when they get there, they have one class to graduate and they decide that this is not for me, which was the case of somebody that I know. And the person became really frustrated. And I said, well, you know what? That's called that she has found her calling. If she doesn't want to continue with it, that means she found what she was meant to do. So you can't force her to do something that she doesn't want to do. So the parents didn't like that, but I said, well, you got to be honest. Is this the first time this is coming in front of you? No. Ever since the beginning, when you were forcing her to do this, she told you that's not what she wanted to do. But you forced her to do it. You went and took, a second mortgage so you could pay for her school. You went and borrow money, take loans, and now that's not what she wants to do. One class. And I'm like, girl, just graduate, child. Graduate, make some money, and then go work on your thing. But she was so hurt. The stuff she saw, she didn't have the stomach. She didn't have the stomach for it. So she quitted it, you know? So just remember, it's important how you invest your energy, where you put your energy, with who you share your energy with. You don't want people to be constantly in your life using your energy and not doing anything. Okay? Hey, Chanti, how are you, beautiful? Okay, so it's important for you to understand that, hey, I gotta do what I have to do. I cannot continue working the way that I do. I cannot continue being the way that I am, because you know what? It's important for me now to focus on myself, to realize that I have my own energy field. I have my own power. I have my own divine gifts. I have my own divine talents, and that's what I need to focus on. I cannot focus on what people are telling me to do, because you know what? Whatever they're telling me to do, that's what they need to do for themselves. That's not what I need to do for myself. Therefore, they need to handle their business and I'm going to handle mine. So don't let people play you. Okay? Don't let people um delay delay your plans, delay your calling because they want you to do certain things. Rise up and step up. Stand in the gap for yourself. Defend yourself. Okay? Don't try to fit into somebody else's path. Their path is not your path. Whatever the path that they take, that's their path. That's what works for them. So you got to invest time with yourself and sit with yourself and ask yourself, is that what's going to work for me? Is this path what's going to work for me? Is that what my grandma used to do? Is that what my great grandma used to do? Is that what's in my family line? Is that what's in my generation? Is that what sits with me? Is that what comes to me effortlessly? Is that what I love to do ever since I was a little girl, a little boy? Is that what I've always done? Ask yourself those questions. They sound simple, but when you have to answer them, they're hard because they require you to be honest. They require you to be honest. You have to be authentic. Other than that, it's going to be a loop, it's going to be a revolving door, and you're never going to get to where you need to. So it is definitely important for you to do what you need to do. Okay? Hey, Venera, welcome. So ask yourself, if I embrace who I truly meant to be, what will I become? What will happen to me? Will I become that person that I was meant to be? Will I become that person, that respectful person, that talented person, that gifted person? Will I become that person, or will I become a miserable person? So always ask yourself, what is it? If I actually decide to do this, will it work? And then take it from there. Okay? Because the moment that you do, everything will change. You will never be the same again. That's why sometimes someone you used to know and you're like, oh my God, this child, this girl, this boy used to be so rambunctious. They used to be, oh my God, they never listen to people. They used to do this, they used to do that. And now look at them. They're so serious. They're handling their business. They're being successful. Why? Because they have realized, oh my God, I'm not within my power. What is it that I need to do to be within my power? Oh, that's what I need to do. All right, let's stop everything. Let's get back to business. So sometimes that's how you got to do it. And I've already shared with you the call for action to make sure to reflect on your natural talent, to write down, because when you write down, you're putting power onto what it is that you're doing. Okay, write down what comes to you naturally, and it doesn't have to be one thing, it could be multiple things. Okay, so you can write a list of 5 things and then shrink it to 3, and then shrink it to 2, and maybe shrink it to 1, or leave it at 2 and work with that. So don't pressure yourself. Just remember of what comes to you naturally. Okay? Just go with what comes to you naturally. Okay? So commit to focusing on your divine path, not someone else's. Take one step at a time. Don't overdo it. Take one step at a time and do what you're supposed to do the way you're supposed to do it. Don't let people come and start abusing your time, abusing your energy, abusing your money just because they want you to become like them. They want you to become a nurse like them. They want you to become a lawyer like them. But I'm not interested in that. That's not what I want to do. So sometimes you got to have the courage to tell people just what it is, the way it is. And you can't keep going around the bushes, because you're just going to keep losing energy. You're going to be keep losing time. You got to keep going around and around and around and around the circle, because you're trying to convince someone, you know what? I'm not, you know, who you thought I was, or I'm not that, I'm something else. So work on yourself, be willing to invest on yourself. Invest time in meditation, invest time in reflection, invest time in writing, so you can find out about yourself, so you can find out those little things that sometimes people don't know how to tell you, or may never even tell you. So remember, I tell you, we have a workshop coming up, okay, this March. Okay, so definitely be part of it. You're gonna have the self-esteem journal. I tell you guys already about it to work on, and we're gonna be working with the self-love workbook. It has a lot of information about yourself, and it gives you spaces to write. Okay, so you can understand yourself better when you work with this, because a lot of times, we ask people to love us, we ask people to be with us, but in reality, do you love yourself? Do you tolerate yourself? Do you support yourself? But you want someone else to do it. And then you have the 369 manifestation you guys have probably been seeing everywhere, but you don't know about it. So I'm inviting you. Okay, it doesn't matter who you think you are, where you are in life, okay? Welcome, Sam. You can do it. And then we have the 77 day of iron will. This is something you're supposed to start with. Yeah? You are supposed to begin your year. I don't know what timeline you're on, if you're in this timeline or the timeline to come. For some people, it's the new year. For some people, it's the end of year right now. So I don't know what timeline you're working with, okay? So this is an imperative book that you should really consider working with, because it's going to force you to do things that you've been trying to avoid. It has like, we start, of course, always with explanation, information, affirmations, declarations, but it also have different setup where you get to set up the way that you're trying to set up your daily routine. So this is 77 days because I want to see you accomplish this. I want to see you get it done. And it's not like it's a million pages. It's a small book, but you're going to invest a little bit of time with yourself so you can succeed, so you can rise up to where you need to. Give yourself that time. Give yourself that credit. Respect yourself enough to work on yourself. Stop allowing people to tap into your energy. Because sometimes people tap into your energy, they don't give you your stuff back. They tap into your energy, they don't give you your stuff back. So it's time for you to get to know yourself on your own. And when I say on your own, I'm not talking by yourself, because I'm going to be there working with you. I'm going to be there supporting you. But I'm just saying you need to pick up the package, okay? Get in touch with me so you can pick up your package so you can be part of this community. It's worth it. So we're starting with this, okay? Remember the 7 days, and you see how the chains are broken, because a lot of time you are just tied up and you just don't know how to get out. So break the chains. You see how she's focusing on herself, okay? You see how she's focusing on herself, and it's like she's the only one in the world. Nobody else matters. So allow yourself the opportunity to see a new version of yourself. Good? And again, I tell you of the 369 manifestation. There are things you're trying to manifest in your life and you don't know which way to start, how to go about it. Here we go. We talked about this all the time. So this is your opportunity. And the self-love workbook, that's going to give you the opportunity to work with yourself, okay? To look into yourself, to do the things that's going to benefit yourself. You see, it's a gift to yourself. You see the bow? It's a gift to yourself. So give yourself that gift and invest in yourself. And then self-esteem. A lot of things we fall into is because of the lack of self-esteem. And when I say that, I always tell people it's not like you cannot fall in a situation. You may fall in a situation, but you gotta have the tools and the skills to be able to get up and walk again. A lot of times people stay on the floor because no one taught them how to get up and walk away. No one taught them that, listen, this is too much. It's time for you to do you. It's time for you to focus on you. It's time for you to handle yourself. It's time for you to just deal with your own self. So you're not too grown, to work on yourself. Along the way, you've helped a lot of people to come to their senses. You've helped a lot of people to grow, to get the things that they have. So it's only okay for you to work on yourself as well. Okay? So as I said, get in touch so you can get your package. And we start in less than 2 weeks. Okay? In about a week and a half, we will be starting. So get in touch so we can do that. Okay? And again, it's just important to align yourself with your divine essence. Don't deny yourself, the things that are natural to you. Stay focused. Oh, I had to send a message. Where's my other phone? I'm running behind. So I wish you well. I wish you to step into your divine truth, because you probably invested or spent your entire life and not walking your path. You've been doing everything that everybody else wants you to do. So it's time for you to do what works for you. It's time for you to work with your natural talent and gifts and allow them to open, doors that are beyond your imagination. May you find clarity. May you find alignment and deep fulfillment. So, again, have a wonderful day. Thank you for investing that little time in yourself today. We had some time earlier this morning, and then earlier in the day, and we have some times right now again. So, thank you. I'm going to let you guys go on over here on YouTube, and then I'm gonna, let you guys go. But thank you guys for, investing the time in yourself. Again, reach out to me if you are interested. Leave a comment, something, and I'll come to it, and we'll further talk about it. Okay? Have a wonderful day. This is your Reverend Dr. Marie Brevil, wishing you a spectacular day.